Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Payman Ansari, and in this lesson, we're going to talk about operators. What is operator? What is operand? And different types of operators that we have in Python. All of them will be covered in this lesson. Operators are used to perform operations between values and variables. Operands are the variables that the operator is applied to. For example, when we say x plus y, here, x and y are operands, and plus is operation. We will cover different operators from arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators, unary operators, membership identity operators in Python. First, let's talk about arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators is about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponentiation. For example, let's say x is equal 5 and y equal 12. When we say x plus y, it adds x to y, and that is addition. But when we say x minus y, the operator here is subtraction, and x will be deducted by y. And we have the same for multiplication, x multiply y, and x divided by y gives us a value of 0.416, but we have floor division or integer division. When we divide x by y, it gives us the integer value, and as you can see here, the integer value of this number would be 0. And also we have remainder, and the remainder, as you can see, gives us 5, because that is the remainder when we divide 5 by 12. The second operator we talk about is assignment operator. Assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. We have different types of them: assignment operator, addition assignment, subtraction assignment, multiplication assignment, division assignment, remainder assignment, and exponent assignment. When we say x is equal to, means we assign 2 to the variable x. That is assignment, and you should not confuse this with double equal, which is another type of operators that we will cover. And when we say x equal x plus 3, means put the value x and add 3 to it and set it to the new value as a x. And it will give us 5, because the value of x previously was 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5. That is what we get. We can write this in another way. Instead of writing x equal x plus 3, we can write it x plus equal 3. That is exactly the same as this one. And when we run this, it will give us the value 5. The same operators we have for subtraction. For example, when y is equal 12, that is the 12 we assign to y, and we write y negative equal to, means subtract 2 from the value of y. And when we subtract 2 from 12, we get 10. The same for division. Set y equal 12 and divided by 2, we should get 6, and that is what we get. Another thing about assignment is that we can assign different values to the different variables in the one line. And as you can see, when we say a comma b equal 4 and 6, this means a is equal 4 and b is equal 6. As the third type of operators that we consider is called comparison operators. Comparison operators are used to compare two objects, two variables in Python. We have equal, which is written by double equal sign when we want to make sure that two variables are equal. Not equal operator, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, and less than or equal operators. Suppose that x is equal 2 and y is equal 5. Then when we want to compare them, when we say x is bigger than y, the result is false because x is not bigger than 5. However, if we say x is less than 5, less than y, then the result is true. We have the double equal sign, as I said, to check that two variables are equal. Here we set x and y both equal 4. And when we say x double equal sign y, we want to make sure that the values of these two variables are equal. And as you can see, it is true. And here about equal, less than or equal, it could be less than or equal. Whatever is true, then the result would be true. Here x is 4 and y is 4, so x is less than or equal 4, and the result would be true. The next type of operator is called logical operators. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statement and check if a statement is true or false. We have three types of logical operators: and, or, and not. An AND operator checks the validity of two conditions. If both of the conditions are true, then it is true, otherwise it will return false. And as you can see here, true and true is true, true and false is false, and false obviously would result in false. Here is an example. We set x to be 5 and y to be 7. The first condition is x less than 12, that is true. And the second condition, y bigger than 5, that is also true. So the true and true would be true. The second, x is less than 12, that is true. Y bigger than 15, that is false. True and false would be false. And the third example is x less than 4, that is false. Y bigger than 15, that is false, and false would be false. We can also combine more than two conditions with these operators. Let's say 4 bigger than 2, that is true. 5 less than 12, that is true. And 2 bigger than 0, that is also true, and the result would be true. However, if only one of these conditions is not true, the result would be false. So 4 is bigger than 2, that is true. 5 is less than 12, that is true. And 2 is less than 0, that is not true, and result would be false. The second type of logical operator is OR, and OR operator checks the validity of two conditions. If one of them is true, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. And as you can see, true and true or true is true, true or false is true, false or false would be false. As an example, let's say A is equal 3, B is equal 6. The first condition, A bigger than 5, that is false, or B less than 10, that is true, and the result would be true. The second example, A is bigger than 5, that is false, B is less than 4, that is false, and the result would be false. The third type of operator in logical operator is called NOT, and NOT is used to negate a statement that we have. So if the statement is true, NOT will make it false and vice versa. Here we have x to be true and y to be false, and not x means not true would return false, and y is false, not y, return true. Another type of operators is called membership operators. Membership operator checks if a sequence is in an object, and we have two types of them: in and not in operator. In operator, if a variable is in the sequence, then it is true, otherwise it would be false. And not in operator checks if a variable is not in the sequence. And if it is not, then return true, otherwise return false. As an example, let's say we have a list 1, which consists of 1, 2, and 3, and the variable that we have is x equal 1. And if we say X in list 1, it is true because we have 1 in the list 1. And if we say 4 in list 1, but 4 does not have the value 4, and return false. For the not in also, we have the same situation. 4 is not in the list. When we say 4 not in list 1, then it returns true. We also have identity operators, and identity operators are used to compare objects. And we have two types of them, is and is not. Is means if the operands are identical, they are the same objects, it returns true, otherwise it will be false. Here we have 3 variables. A is a list, B is a list, and we set C to be exactly equal A. And as you can see, when we say A is C, it returns true because A and C refer to the same object. And when we say A is B, it returns false, even though they have the same values, but because they are different objects and they are stored in different places in our CPU, it returns false. And because A is not B, when we say A is not B, it returns true. An important topic in operations is the order that they have. Here we have 2 examples, x equal 12 plus 3 times 5, and the same value, x1 equal parentheses 12 plus 3 in parentheses multiplied by 5. And as you can see, we get 2 different values. The reason is that we have the order of operations, and we have to consider the way that they operate. Here, the first one, we have 12 plus 3 times 15. In this case, we multiplied 3 by 5. The result would be 15, and add it to 12, which gives us 27. But in the second case, because 12 plus 3 is in the parentheses, we add them up first, which gives us 15, and multiplied by 5 gives us 75. And we have to be aware that the order of operations and the order of operation in programming generally and in Python specifically are in this way. Whatever is in the parentheses should be calculated first. That has the highest precedence in operation order. The second one is exponentiation. Next is unary plus and unary minus. And then we have multiplication, division, and fuller division, as well as modulus. And the last is addition and subtraction. And as you can see here, the first example, 3 multiplied by 5, is calculated first because the order of multiplication is higher than order of addition. And then it is added to 12. In the second example, because the precedence of parentheses is higher than multiplication, we calculate the value in the parentheses first, and then we multiply it by 5